Right now, beneath your feet, lie the bones of kings who swore their empires would last forever. They built towers that pierced the clouds, sculpted gold into gods, and commanded armies that turned rivers red. Yet today, you don't even know their names. History books erase them. YouTube algorithms ignore them. Why? Because their story isn't just about the past. It's a terrifying mirror revealing exactly where our world is heading next. Imagine a civilization that mastered acoustic levitation, engineered underground cities beneath barren deserts, and mapped cosmic cycles tens of thousands of years before the invention of the telescope. In the heart of the Sahara, satellite imagery reveals vast networks of thousands of miles of subterranean aqueducts carved through solid rock, built by a people history books called the Garamantes. Across the Mediterranean, deep underwater off the coast of Egypt, the grand city of Thonis-Heracleion sits submerged in complete darkness, swallowed by the sea in a single night. And in the Indus Valley, ancient ruins show cities planned with perfect grid systems and indoor plumbing 4,000 years ago, yet missing a single weapon, palace, or royal tomb. Who were these people? How did empires capable of grand engineering vanish without leaving a single war diary behind? The answer lies in a universal law hidden from modern humanity. Civilizations do not die because they run out of weapons. They die because they break three eternal rules of existence. Today, we uncover the story of the forgotten empire and the philosophical rules that govern whether a society or a human life survives or crumbles into oblivion. Rigidity is the quietest killer in existence. When a person or a nation clings to past successes, refusing to evolve as the world transforms around them, decay sets in long before the actual collapse. Consider an engineer named Amias in 500 BCE, deep in the Sahara Desert. His ancestors thrived in a green, lush paradise full of lakes and wildlife. But over centuries, the rain stopped. The lakes turned to salt. The land began to burn. While neighboring tribes fled or waged desperate, bloody wars over drying rivers, Amias and his people made a radical choice. They adapted. Using advanced paleoclimatology and hydrogeology, modern researchers discovered that the Garamantes built the fog-era system, a hand-carved network of over 600 underground tunnels stretching thousands of miles beneath the desert. They extracted fossil water stored deep underground during the last ice age. Through sheer human genius, they grew wheat, grapes, and palms in an furnace-hot desert, sustaining a thriving empire for 1,000 years without a drop of rain. But fossil water is finite. As the centuries passed, the water table plummeted. To survive, the rulers demanded deeper tunnels and forced thousands into relentless labor. Instead of shifting their lifestyle or seeking new frontiers, they doubled down on an exhausting, unsustainable system. They refused to adapt to the reality that the water was finally running out. When the last underground aquifer emptied, the green oases withered in weeks. Within a generation, the empire was devoured by sand. Today, only silent stone tunnels remain beneath miles of empty dunes. When the landscape of your life changes, stubbornness is a death sentence. Clinging to an old identity, a failed strategy, or past glory will only bury you. Flow like water, or crumble like dust. When a society prioritizes spectacle, noise, and illusion over reality, it becomes blind to the structural cracks forming beneath its own feet. Travel now to the ancient harbor of Thonis-Heracleion at the mouth of the Nile River, the gateway to Egypt and the wealthiest trading hub of the ancient Mediterranean. Citizens built colossal 16-foot granite statues, megatemples, and massive stone docks engineered to handle hundreds of merchant ships simultaneously. Wealth poured in from across the known world. Geological research reveals that the city was built on a fragile river delta composed of loose sediment and clay. The immense weight of their heavy stone temples placed enormous pressure on water-saturated soil. Priests and rulers were drunk on wealth, vanity, and religious festivals. The streets echoed with music, parades, and political drama. Yet, right beneath their feet, a phenomenon known as soil liquefaction was taking hold. The earth was turning to liquid mud under the weight of their arrogance, but the citizens were too distracted by noise and luxury to notice the subtle tilting of their grand monuments. In the 8th century CE, A combination of a tsunami, earthquake, and soil liquefaction struck. The waterlogged clay gave way. In moments, the colossal temples sank 30 feet directly into the earth and tumbled into the ocean. The entire city vanished beneath the Mediterranean waves, lost for over 1,200 years. Do not mistake current comfort for eternal security. Cut through the daily noise of superficial distractions, social media outrage, and ego, or you will fail to notice the very ground slipping beneath you. Hypercomplexity is a trap. The more intricate, interconnected, and dependent a system becomes on endless growth, the more fragile it grows. In 1200 BCE, the entire civilized world, Mycenae, the Hittites, Egypt, and Babylon, experienced the late Bronze Age collapse. They had created a hyper-globalized trade network dependent on tin, copper, and luxury goods. When a single link in the supply chain fractured due to drought and migration, the entire global order collapsed like a house of cards simultaneously. Literacy disappeared. Cities burned. Mankind plunged into a 400-year dark age. It wasn't alien invaders or godlike monsters that destroyed them. It was their own unyielding complexity. They owned vast empires, but those empires had become so complex that no one could manage them when crisis hit. Simplicity is ultimate resilience. The more clutter, commitments, and material desires you collect, the easier it is for life to break you. True power is not controlling everything around you, but mastering yourself. Look back at the lost empires. Adapt or be erased. Clinging to the past destroys your future. Noise obscures truth. Distraction hides foundational danger. What you own will eventually own you. Complexity breeds fragility. The empires lost to time were not foolish. They were human. They fell into the exact same traps we walk into every single day. We build digital monuments, chase fleeting trends, and ignore the quiet truths of our own existence. But history is not a graveyard. It is a lesson plan. If you want your life, your purpose, and your legacy to survive the test of time, build your foundation on adaptability, truth, and simplicity. What rule are you breaking in your own life right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, like this video if it made you think, and share it with someone who needs to wake up.